Hey everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into trading in the zone. It's amazing we've made it all the way to the final chapter.
I know, right? It feels like just yesterday we were starting chapter 1.
Chapter 11, Thinking Like a Trader.
You know, I think this chapter is the perfect ending to this book.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Well, it's where Douglas kind of pulls everything together.
I see what you mean. Like it's where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. He shows us what it really takes to be a successful trader.
Consistently successful, you mean?
Right, not just getting lucky once or twice.
So no secret formulas then?
No magic indicators or anything like that.
Bummer. I was hoping for a get-rich-quick scheme.
No. Douglas is all about developing the right mindset.
He calls it the trader's mindset, if I remember correctly.
Yes. And it all starts with a very simple realization.
What's that?
Trading is really just pattern recognition and probability.
So it's not about being some kind of market psychic.
Nope. No crystal ball required.
Thank goodness for that.
He emphasizes that you don't have to predict the market perfectly.
Right, because that's impossible.
It's about recognizing patterns that give you a statistical edge.
Okay, so you find patterns that have worked in the past.
And then you play the odds, just like a casino.
Interesting analogy. So we're the casino in this scenario.
Precisely. We're not betting on individual outcomes.
Right, we're focused on the long game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest gifts Douglas gives us is the ability to detach from the emotional roller coaster of trading.
Oh man, tell me about it. My emotions used to control my every trade.
He lays out a path to get away from that.
What, like therapy for traders?
He describes 3 stages of development: mechanical, subjective, and intuitive.
Okay, that's interesting. So where do we begin?
The foundation, he says, is the mechanical stage.
What does that even mean?
It's where we build that unshakable mental framework.
Step by step, right? Brick by brick.
Exactly. Internalizing the core principles for success.
And those principles allow us to actually execute our trading plan.
Without being sabotaged by fear and greed, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about those core principles.
Absolutely.
Douglas lays out 7 of them in this chapter.
And he doesn't mess around. He calls them fundamental laws.
Laws for consistent trading success. Right, you got it. Kind of makes you want to sit up straight and pay attention.
It definitely does.
Oh, yeah.
He starts off strong.
Well,
Objectively identify your edges.
okay, sounds important. But what does that even mean?
He uses a casino analogy again, which I love.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Casinos don't try to predict every spin of the roulette wheel.
Of course not. They know they can't control that.
Right, but what they can control is the overall odds of the game.
And that's where their edge lies.
Precisely.
So we need to be like the casino.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We need to find our own edges in the market.
Instead of trying to predict every single move the market makes.
We need a system that gives us a statistical edge over the long run.
And then we trust that the odds will play out in our favor.
Over a large series of trades, yes. Like trusting that the house always wins.
Except we're the house this time.
Exactly. And just like a casino, we have to manage our risk.
Oh, right. That's principle number 2, isn't it?
It is. Predefine your risk.
I feel like that's one of those things that's easier said than done.
How so?
Well, in the heat of the moment, fear and greed take over.
That's true. It can be tough to stick to your plan.
So how do we actually do that? How do we predefine our risk?
Well, Douglas uses this really powerful analogy.
Okay, lay it on me. I love a good analogy.
Imagine you're walking across a narrow bridge over the Grand Canyon.
Whoa, okay, I'm already getting nervous.
Your position size determines how wide that bridge is.
So a big position size is like walking a tightrope.
Exactly. One misstep, one gust of wind, and you're gone.
Yikes. That's a powerful image.
It highlights the need for focus and unwavering risk management.
It really does make you think about risk in a whole new light.
And it's not enough to just define your risk, you know?
Oh, there's more.
You also have to truly accept it.
Accept it. Like make peace with the possibility of losing.
Exactly. That's principle number 3. Accept risk or I'll let go.
So if I'm not truly okay with potentially losing on a trade,
Then you shouldn't be in the trade.
it's like a gut check, right? Before you pull the trigger.
Right. If you have even a shred of doubt or hesitation,
Walk away.
walk away.
Okay, I get it. So far, we have to identify our edge,
Right.
predefine our risk, and accept that risk. What comes next?
Well, then it's time to actually take action.
The moment of truth.
Principle number 4. Act on edges without hesitation.
That sounds easy enough.
But for many traders,
It can be terrifying.
it is.
Yeah.
This is where self-trust and confidence come into play.
Easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
Especially for new traders.
Definitely. But Douglas argues that the more you practice these principles,
Yeah.
the easier it becomes to act decisively.
Because you start to see your system work.
And that builds confidence.
It's a positive feedback loop. Okay, that makes sense. So it's not about magically becoming fearless.
Right.
It's about building trust through action and seeing positive results.
Exactly. And that leads us to principle number 5.
Hit me with it.
Pay yourself as the market allows.
Okay, that sounds intriguing. What does that even mean?
It's all about scaling out of winning trades.
Ah, so not just holding on for dear life.
No. It's about taking profits as the market moves in your favor.
I'm so guilty of holding on too long.
A lot of traders are.
Hoping to squeeze out every last penny.
But Douglas actually recommends taking profits early.
Really? Why is that?
He even says he used to take profits early to cover his expenses.
So he locked in some profit right away.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that small wins build consistency.
So it's like a psychological safety net.
I like that. It takes the pressure off for sure.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It helps you manage the rest of the trade with more clarity.
Because you know you've already secured some profit?
Right. And it reduces the risk of giving back your gains.
By holding on too long and letting the market turn against you.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've covered 5 principles so far. Remind me what they are.
Let's see. Objectively identify your edges, predefine your risk.
Right.
Accept that risk or walk away. Act on your edges without hesitation.
And pay yourself as the market allows.
Perfect.
Okay, what about the last 2 principles?
Principle number 6 is all about self-awareness.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is. It's monitor for errors.
So basically, catch yourself when you're about to mess up.
Exactly. It's a constant process, Douglas says.
Because we're human, right? We're going to make mistakes.
We are. And it's not a one-time fix. It's ongoing work.
So like having a mental checklist always running in the background.
That's a great way to think about it.
Are there any specific techniques for developing this self-awareness?
He doesn't get into specific techniques, unfortunately.
Bummer.
But he does say that it gets easier with practice.
So the more we work on these principles,
the more attuned we become to our own thought pattern.
And our emotional triggers.
Yes, like developing a sixth sense for when you're about to deviate.
Interesting. It's like training your mind to recognize self-sabotage.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final principle.
The grand finale. What is it?
Never violate these principles.
So it's not enough to just know them right.
Right.
We have to actually live by them.
Day in and day out.
It's like he's saying, you can have all the tools in the world.
But if you don't have the discipline to follow your own rules...
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. And to really drive this point home, he introduces what he calls the casino exercise.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. What's that all about?
It's designed to shift our mindset from prediction and control to probability and acceptance.
Now that sounds powerful.
It is.
I definitely want to hear more about this casino exercise.
We can definitely dive into that.
But before we do,
I
think it would be helpful to quickly recap the 7 principles.
Absolutely. A recap is a great idea. So, to quickly summarize, the 7 principles are objectively identify your edges, predefine your risk, accept that risk or walk away, act on your edges without hesitation, pay yourself as the market allows, consistently monitor for errors, and never violate these principles.
Easy peasy, right?
Well, not quite.
I figured.
These principles, as Mark Douglas emphasizes, lay the foundation for a trader's mindset that aligns with the true nature of the market.
Okay, so it's not just about the technical aspects of trading.
No, it's much more than that.
It's about cultivating the right mental framework, isn't it?
Exactly. It's about creating a mindset that supports consistent decision-making.
And emotional resilience.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just know these principles intellectually.
You have to really internalize them.
You got it. Make them a part of your trading DNA.
And that's where the casino exercise comes in.
Right.
Okay, you've got my attention. Walk me through this casino exercise.
So imagine yourself as the owner of a casino.
Okay, I can do that. I'm feeling pretty lucky already.
You've carefully designed games that offer a slight statistical edge in your favor.
Like blackjack or roulette.
Sure, those are classic examples. You know you won't win every hand or every spin of the roulette wheel.
Of course not. That would be impossible.
But you trust that over thousands upon thousands of bets, the odds will play out in your favor, ensuring consistent profits.
Okay, so we're not trying to win every single trade.
Exactly. That's a crucial shift in perspective.
We're focusing on the process.
Yes, and trusting that the odds will work out in our favor over time.
It's kind of like surrendering to the uncertainty, right?
In a way, yes. You're accepting that you can't control the outcome of individual trades.
But you can control your process and your risk.
Exactly. And that's the core of the casino exercise.
Okay, I'm ready to play. What's step one?
Douglas recommends choosing a market you're familiar with and defining a precise edge.
So we're not just winging it.
No, this isn't about gut feelings or hunches.
We need a clearly defined system, right?
Absolutely. Remember, we're pretending to be casino owners here.
Ah.
Everything needs to be precise and systematic. So your edge could be a specific chart pattern, a combination of indicators, or any other system that you've backtested.
Backtested and you believe offers a statistical advantage.
Precisely.
Once you've identified your edge, what's next?
You set a strict stop-loss level.
Okay, that's risk management 101.
It is. This represents the maximum amount you're willing to risk on each trade.
So if my system tells me to buy the S&P 500 at a certain price,
Yeah.
and I set my stop loss 2 points below my entry,
Okay.
I would know that my maximum potential loss on that trade is $100 per contract.
Assuming $50 per point, yes. That's exactly right.
And this predetermined stop loss is based on my analysis of the market, right?
Correct. Not on some arbitrary dollar amount.
Right. It's not about how much I feel comfortable losing.
It's about what your analysis tells you is a reasonable risk. No saying, well, I'm feeling lucky today, or this trade feels really good, so I'll move my stop loss further away.
We're taking emotions out of the equation.
As much as possible, yeah.
Okay, I get it. So we define our edge and our risk. What then?
Then you commit to trading a sample size of at least 20 trades.
20. Why 20?
Douglas explains that this sample size is large enough to experience the inevitable ups and downs of trading.
So you'll see both winning and losing trades.
Exactly. Without getting emotionally attached to the outcome of each individual trade, it's about proving to yourself that your system works over time, even if you experience some losing trades along the way.
So it's not about hitting home runs on every trade
No, it's about building trust in the process.
and detaching ourselves from the emotional roller coaster of wins and losses.
Exactly. It's like going on a diet.
Okay, I'm listening. I like food analogies.
You know that one cheat meal won't completely derail your progress?
But if you constantly cheat,
You're less likely to reach your goals.
same with trading.
Exactly.
This casino exercise sounds incredibly valuable, but also incredibly challenging.
It is.
I mean, 20 trades in a row, no deviations.
That's the goal.
Can we really do that?
It's definitely not easy.
Can we really trade that many times without feeling fear or greed?
It's not about not feeling those emotions.
Without second-guessing ourselves or wanting to tweak our systems.
It's about not letting those emotions control our actions.
Okay, so how do we do that?
The casino exercise is designed to push us outside of our comfort zone.
Make us confront those ingrained emotional patterns.
Precisely.
So it's like exposure therapy for traders.
I like that analogy. It's about gradually desensitizing ourselves to those emotional triggers.
And developing the mental discipline to stick to our plan.
Even when it feels uncomfortable.
And as we do this,
Something really remarkable starts to happen.
what happens? What happens when we actually do it?
Well, Douglas says that as we stick to that sample size of 20 trades, without any deviations, we start to really internalize these principles.
It goes from theory to practice.
Exactly. It's no longer just an idea in our head.
It becomes a lived experience.
Right. We see firsthand that our system actually works over time.
Even if some trades are losers.
Even if we have some losing trades, yeah.
So it's like we're shifting our mindset
Big time.
from hoping to win.
To expecting to win.
Not on every single trade, of course.
Right. But over the long run.
It's about trusting the process,
Exactly.
not getting so caught up in individual outcome.
And you get it. It's about detaching from that emotional weight.
And as we do this,
Yeah,
you said something remarkable starts to happen.
it does. The emotional intensity of trading.
It goes down.
It diminishes, yeah.
Yeah.
We're no longer controlled by those waves of fear and greed.
It's like we're rewiring our brains
That's a great way to put it.
to respond to the markets with more,
Clarity.
clarity, objectivity.
Exactly. We're creating new neural pathways, basically.
And those pathways support a different kind of trading,
Discipline trading.
consistent trading.
Right. Instead of reactive emotional trading.
And what happens then as we create these new pathways?
Well, as we do this, our self-trust grows. Our confidence grows.
We start to see ourselves differently.
We do. We see ourselves as capable traders.
Instead of like victims.
Victims, yes. Victims of the market or whatever.
Right. We take back control of our trading.
Not by controlling the market itself,
Of course not.
but by mastering our own minds.
Exactly. And that, my friend, is the essence of thinking like a trader. According to Mark Douglas, that is.
According to Mark Douglas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about having a crystal ball. It's not about finding some secret formula. It's about developing the right mindset.
The mindset that aligns with the true nature of the markets.
Yes. And then executing our strategies with discipline.
And emotional detachment.
Exactly. Which is why I love the casino exercise so much.
Tell me why.
Well, it's not just a trading strategy.
It's more than that.
It's like a training ground for the mind.
I love that. Like a mental gym for traders.
It pushes us to confront our fears,
Yeah.
It helps us detach from those emotional biases.
Right.
And it allows us to really experience trading as a probability game.
Like we're the casino owner.
Exactly. Calm, cool, collected.
Focused on the long game.
Exactly. Knowing that the odds are in our favor.
As long as we stick to our system.
Right. And manage our risk.
Man, this has been an incredible journey, exploring this book with everyone.
It has been. I've really enjoyed it.
Huge thanks to all of our listeners for sticking with us through this whole deep dive into trading in the zone. We've loved having you along for the ride.
Absolutely. We're so grateful for your support and all of your engagement.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to start a new deep dive soon
We are.
into another fantastic book.
A new adventure.
But before we go,
Yes.
we want to hear from you. What book should we explore next?
We're open to suggestions.
What have been your biggest takeaways from trading in the zone?
Let us know in the comments. We love hearing your thoughts.
And as you continue to think about everything we've discussed,
Yeah.
here's a final thought-provoking question for you.
I love it. Hit us with it.
If you could truly embody that mindset of a casino owner,
Yeah.
calm, detached, focused on the long game,
Uh-huh.
how would that change the way you trade?
That's a great question. One worth pondering, for sure.
Until next time, happy trading, everyone.
And remember,
The real treasure.
isn't in the markets.
It's in the power of your own mind.